Oh, it's time. Time to get radical.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to Radical Comment of the Week for July 21st through the 27th. These are the very best comments from that week. Starting out, we have 3 almost honorable mentions, and these are from Afro Gamer Dude, Slopes Game Room, and Haddington Rose. The first honorable mention comes to us from The Winged Avenger. YouTube costs money to run, so it needs ads. Since YouTube makes ad revenue from a video, it's only right that they give a portion of it to the video's creator. When the uploader asks for donations from their fans who come to YouTube not expecting this awkward extra step, then I have a problem. Because grown men shouldn't be begging on the internet. Often the result is that these guys con little kids out of their allowance money and their games. Ads are on TV and on the radio because they are the way you run a business of TV and radio, which don't involve selling a physical product. YouTube is like TV. The content creator is paid with a part of the ad revenue and depends on the amount of views the show gets. The main difference is that when a TV show doesn't get views, not only does the creator not get paid, the show gets canceled outright. YouTube allows a show to continue on the platform even if it doesn't get views. And yet YouTubers always complain about YouTube? Thank you, Winged Avenger. The next honorable mention comes to us from Juliet India Mobile. Hey Rick, I'm in management. Not retail management, but the challenge is across the board. The difference in desk level associate versus management is easily boiled down. An associate level job is task focus. You have a set number of tasks to accomplish. In certain instances, those are incentivized or mandated. Management jobs are objective or goal focused. Similarly, they are also in most cases incentivized or mandated. Not all of us are a bunch of clueless fools. Some are better than others. The difficulty on our side compared to a desk level job is that it is less likely I can get fed up and quit and find myself in a similar situation and pay. Don't hate the playa, hate the game. I've interviewed guys I like. Interviewed guys like Rich, Review Tech USA. I never heard of the other guy, but I see it time and time again. They overvalue their worth. They approach you as an aficionado of your industry, but mostly they miss the mark. This is going to sound bad, but it is most likely true. If I was hiring at GameStop, I would look to a few things. Someone who can follow directions, someone motivated by incentive, someone who knows enough about what we sell to gain customer trust, and lastly, the icing on the cake, someone who is most likely to spend a majority of their paycheck at GameStop. I agree with you, being a GameStop associate is not a career, and Rich and this other guy, Camelot331, may need to brush up on their cardboard sign skills in the event of a YouTube apocalypse. The adpocalypse, right? Okay. Juliet India Mobile, thank you for that honorable mention. And the last honorable mention comes to us from Shanana Timms. Signs of hoarding. Just refer viewers to any of Hancock's garage videos. I immediately thought of the one where he had the whole crew in his garage and it was all stored in brown cardboard boxes. Can be seen, engaged with, etc. I have it, but it's locked in a box somewhere. They might not be hoarders per se, but there are obvious issues there. I'm also thinking of Pat the Nest Punk here, who openly admits to owning more things than he can even picture. I think I have that game somewhere. One of the greatest things I ever did was take a job overseas. I had to pack up anything I needed in a suitcase and carry on bag. First, I kept a storage locker in the US, but after a year I realized I'm not coming back and started saving that money. As for the ongoing personal anti-hoarding fight, it's tough. I do the same thing, saving parts that might be useful one day if a random particular situation were to arise. I've ended up now just admitting to myself that 99.9% of the time, such situations never occur, and if it did, I'd force myself to eat the $1, $2 it costs to order the part. Now, unless I have an obvious mental picture of where junk is going to go, I toss it. As for Top Hat Gaming Man and other double-dipping YouTubers, one rule I use when finding channels to watch is looking for negative comments. Are they there? How's the reaction? This shows if they're deleting immediately, and the other comments connected to it usually show what kind of audience that YouTuber is comfortable with. If they act like a pack of wolves because someone mentioned the emperor had no clothes on, then it's time to move on. Hell, I do the same thing before buying a product. I focus on the negative reviews and consider them more trustworthy than the positive ones. Do I still want to buy it if these negatives are present? Thank you, Shenana Timms. And moving right along into the medal ceremony, the bronze medal goes to Terranigma. I thought what they showed of the Halo Infinite gameplay looked great, and it felt like a Halo game. Targeting 60 frames per second at 4K is also the perfect choice. There's quite a big difference in the gaming experience between 30 and 60 frames a second with shooters. Especially, I've been playing the recently released Halo 3 on the Master Chief Collection, though Game Pass at 144 frames per second, and it's such a fluid experience. The exclusives they revealed were also interesting. I'm especially looking forward to Stalker, Fable, Obsidian Skyrim like Avowed, Warhammer 40k, and Forza. The presentation was overall better than Sony's in my opinion. If you paid attention, it's obvious that Microsoft has a plan. They acquired some great first-party studios and have put them to work on exclusives for their platform, which goes beyond just the Series X. It includes the Xbox One, their cloud service, and Game Pass on PC, which I'm a big fan of and have been a member of since its inception. I plan on playing all these games on my PC. Some Xbox fanboys are salty about Microsoft releasing their games on PC, also, but I think it's a fantastic idea, even though I'm biased in that matter. We all know for a fact that these companies are lucky to break even, and in many cases sell consoles at a loss. The strategy is to make up that money and profit in software and online services sales. Selling your software when you're a software company to PC gamers as well only makes your platform and profits bigger. As long as Microsoft focuses on making good games and leaves the censoring and politically correct culture to Sony, they'll have an advantage. They can also afford to abolish the price of Xbox Live with the release of the Series X, which would be a huge kick in Sony's nuts. It would dominate the press and garner a lot of goodwill with gamers. As much as I like Sony and their contribution to the industry, which is huge, they can go F themselves with some of the decisions they've been making, which are anti-consumer and pro-censorship. I'm rooting for Microsoft on this one. Well, as far as like the decisions Sony has made, there's a couple, I think. But the one that I see, which they did need to make, which didn't make any sense, is the lack of letting you use your PS4 controller on a PS5. On the Xbox, there's no problem with that, right? They just updated that controller. I don't see how revolutionary the PS5 controller is to where you can't still use your PS4 controller. I just don't get that. It seems like they're just nickel and diming you on that, okay? Yeah, I just don't see it. I don't understand it. I might be wrong, but I just don't see how you can't still let people use their old controller on the new games. It's kind of like when Microsoft, they tried to mandate the Kinect. And they tried to tell you, hey, you need the Kinect to play these games. Okay, we're talking about anti-consumer practices, Terranigma. Okay, let's not forget that. You definitely need this to play Dead Rising 3. When in reality, you can play Dead Rising 3. You could play through that entire game. And I think there's an instance where you get to an edge of something, and I think you make a signal or you say something, and the zombies might get your attention. But no, that was being dishonest to people. This thing swings back and forth, okay? Right now, Xbox gamers are probably going to have it really good this generation because they need to catch up. They're going to do whatever they can to try to get that goodwill back with a lot of gamers. So I think this generation, I think sales will still go to Sony. I think sales will still go to Sony, and they still probably will have better exclusives overall, but I don't know. It depends on what you consider an exclusive. Microsoft has a lot of money, so typical exclusives they might consider like to be under their umbrella. So games that might be normally on both consoles, it might be to them now. So yeah, I think people are going to have it really good this generation on the Xbox. Hopefully both consoles. I know I'm probably just not gonna get one of these new consoles until, well, I have a question. Did they announce mid-gen refresh updates? That's what I want to know, especially seeing how some of these late games like Cyberpunk 2077 actually run on the base PS4 and base Xbox One. I want to know if there's going to be some mid-gen refreshes like the PS4 Pro and the Series X, because, why plunk down your money on what's going to be, in years, a console that's unplayable with certain games towards the end of a generation, Thank you, Terry Enigma. Next up, we got Shinra with a shiny silver medal. A point on e-begging. If someone puts up a video they've made on YouTube, which is a free video sharing platform, the viewer is not obliged in any way to pay for it. Just like in Mario Maker, levels uploaded voluntarily do not justify a payment of any kind from those who consume them. Just because you make something, anything, does not automatically mean it is of monetary value. Further, this is an amateur platform. If the likes of Top Hat Gaming Man decide their videos are of financial worth, go and put them behind a paywall and see what happens. No one will pay for them because they are not professional content. You'll get no views and no ad revenue. What is professional content? For me, it is original work. If, say, the gaming historian went and interviewed a load of game developers at Rare about the N64, or SNK engineers about Neo Geo arcade machines, then I would happily pay for the content, as it hasn't been documented before. The reality is that the stuff up on YouTube is largely regurgitated information that is already in the public domain. Narrating Wikipedia articles or magazine features over gameplay footage is not something anyone should be asked to pay a significant amount of cash for every month. Expressing opinion is not worth money, neither is showing off your latest purchases. That people are prepared to give these characters money, the fact people are prepared to give these characters money is evidence of the underhanded manipulative tactics at play. No one thinking clearly would give the likes of Top Hat Gaming Man money to go on holiday again, knowing they've been conned. Well, I think the Top Hat Gaming Man, I think he has some decent videos, Whenever I criticized things about him, I never said that he had terrible videos. I didn't. And I think he might have said some positive things about this channel also. The issue I have personally is the thought that any of us here on YouTube, and I know my uploads from time to time, commentary type uploads, of course. This one for instance, might not be my best, but I might have some that people think, man, that is fucking amazing. Rick, that one is fucking amazing, So the reality is probably if there was a donate option on many of my uploads, fact of the matter is people would donate. I know that. I'm aware of that, right? I speak out against it, but people would. So what are you going to do? We talk about the bar sometimes. I brought up the bar, and you bring up the bar, which is the difference on what a hobbyist upload is and what a professional upload is. For many people, it's different. It is different. Now, regardless of where you view as the bar here on my commentary. Let's say I uploaded a video that, went viral. Let's say, I don't know what it could be about. It could be a variety of my uploads, right? I do quality commentary. This is mostly a very quality channel. I put a lot of time and thought and effort into most of my uploads. Sometimes I'm just dicking around. Yesterday I had a couple where I was just kind of dicking around, but there are some that I think reach a certain level that might pass a bar to many people. The difference is, I don't feel, Shinra, like you or anyone else that comes to this channel. I don't feel like you all should give me any of your money personally for my uploads. I don't feel that. Okay? Some people might feel differently. But I try to do my best to argue that it's wrong for us as YouTubers to accept money from the Shinras out there, Even if you would be willing to offer me money, I shouldn't accept it. I just feel that way. I understand people feel differently, but through a lot of my type of uploads, I try to present an argument, passionately on how I feel. And I feel that it's necessary, if not now more than ever, with the rise of a lot of e-begging, with the continued rise of things like e-begging. I think it's great to have people like me out here actually providing a argument, against it. Thank you, Shinra. The gold medal today comes to us from Billy Sosa. We have all heard the phrase, YouTube is my job, a lot, and I find it completely abhorrent. Does this mean I am against making money? Absolutely not. There is no question that YouTube or social media in general is a powerful tool for marketing and promoting not only products and services, but also people or personalities. YouTube is also a great source for entertainment as well. Naturally, there is money to be made. We bash YouTubers that shill products that they don't believe in, but the way I see it, that is a legitimate way to make some money. Look, these are companies with marketing budgets, so I don't mind seeing smaller channels get a piece of the pie. Doing this, though, comes with a caveat. You lose credibility with your audience, or at least it should. But these straight-up e-beggars, these YouTube is my job people, they really have their head in the clouds. It's one thing when someone who really tried and put lots of effort into building a brand and presenting it professionally, and it doesn't catch on like they thought. Cough, Jake, T. But now these people just think that YouTube is my job means that people are just going to send you money right out of the gate for absolutely nothing. It's nonsense. E-begging culture has been completely normalized and accepted. Ladies and gentlemen, we are too far gone. A couple things you touch on right there. I just had a rad response. Speaking on Happy Console Gamer. One person definitely, I don't know if he has a job outside of YouTube, but he can be considered one of these people that, see YouTube as their job. They log in, they play a character, they talk about something for a while, and then they get freebies from companies, and then it rinse, lather, and repeat. They don't think about it beyond it just being a job. It is just to them a paycheck. Sometimes you can get through to some of these people, but sometimes they just see it as a paycheck. And, you get it how there's money to be made. I think you say basically, if it's smaller YouTubers, you don't mind them getting, some deals and whatnot and everything. But I don't know, where do you draw the line? And the fact of the matter is, it's always the bigger channels that get the more freebies. You know why that is? Is because it's promotion. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. I can see it. Most people can see it. I just don't understand how we don't hold YouTubers accountable for being shills, for being in bed with the companies. And what I mean to say is, not being honest in your criticism and your opinions of their product, If you're always happy, then a company sees this like, hey, we can make a lot of money off of that guy, right? That person has a big audience. And then this person in turn says, you know what? I might help these people sell a lot of consoles or a lot of copies of this game, and I'll get me a free copy of that game, and I'll get me a console. Win-win. It's a business decision. Only thing is, and my main problem with it is that these YouTubers do not disclose to their audience, hey, you know what? I'm a shill, right? I would have no issue. I really wouldn't have any issue with it whatsoever if someone like the Happy Console Gamer uploaded a video basically explaining to people what he does. I'm playing a fake character and I'm a shill, okay? I get these free things to say nice things about their companies, this is what I do. I would have no problem. They wouldn't even have to put that as their opening video to their channel. I would have no problem. I'd say, okay, good deal, Johnny. Just let people know. The problem is they won't let people know. They won't even let their own audience know. When someone like Johnny bounces around, you look at him, you compare him to who he used to be. That is not the same person. It's not. And people can say, well, people can change in time. Okay, no. Unless he got like a lobotomy or a different brain implant or something, that is not the same person. Okay? It's not the same person. They're playing characters. So, yeah, personalities. You phrased it, Billy. Personalities. They are personalities. When they turn on the camera, they're showing up to work. But the problem is, the main problem with YouTube I see right now is people can't see that they're playing characters and they're not being truthful. They're not being honest with people a lot of the time. They build these characters up, and so many people can't see beyond these characters. And that makes things ripe for a con right there. You know, some people might call it a con, some people might not. But I think if you're not being honest with your audience and you're trying to show products on them that you yourself probably don't believe in, or you're trying to, let's just call it what it is, straight up lie about certain products because you don't want to hurt those agreements that you have. Well, not agreements, but you don't want to hurt that relationship, right? You don't want to bite that hand that feeds you. Believe me, you know, whenever I talk about something, you know, I got an upcoming video I'm working on comparing 3 different DVD head units, right? You know, if Dual approached me or one of them approached me saying, hey, you know, we need you to not mention this flaw we have in this or not mention the sound quality is not that great, I'd say go fuck yourself. Okay, I'm not gonna compromise myself because, you know, I am an honest person, right? It shouldn't be that hard to be honest, is what I'm saying, Billy. Everyone have a great day.